Hey, y'all, listen, I'm back. I did a show earlier with Roy Ayers World. If you're not a subscriber over there at Roy Ayers World, please subscribe. We will be doing a lot of recaps together of these reality shows and some other shows as we see fit and when we can. So we recapped the Real Housewives of Potomac earlier, and here I am for trending topics on a Monday. And you know the title tonight is Family Matters. Excuse me. Family matters. I'm sorry, excuse me. As you come in, I was eating my dinner real quick before I came in, and that's not a good thing. And now it's just like my stomach is like, ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. But anyway, team too much, right? So as you come in, please hit that like button. It's called Family Matters, okay? Family Matters. We got child support drama. I don't know what it is with this child support that gets the people in an uproar. And I don't understand what these professional sports players, I don't care if it's NFL, I don't care if it's the NBA, I don't understand any of them when it comes to them being so reckless with the gift they have been given and with the blessing that they have been given of these humongous salaries. They know that unfortunately we got to call it what it is. A lot of these ladies want to get with them because they see a big payday. They look at them and all they see is dollar signs. They don't care if you cute, you ugly, as long as you are on the starting line, they coming for you. And they will do the most and whatever. And if you allow them, they will have 22 babies by you so they can get that check. So Jimmy Butler, NBA star, his ex-girlfriend, 3 of his babies, they cutie pies, gorgeous. She gets $55,000 a month in child support. Now that's a payday. $55,000, some people, that's not even their salary. She gets $55,000 a month in child support. Then she had asked the judge to make him pay for the nanny. So the nanny, listen, shout out to the nannies, to the NBA players. Any of y'all want to be a nanny? The nanny gets $10,000 a month. The nanny. So she got the nanny, but now he's saying enough is enough because he had agreed to pay for the nanny for a certain time period. Now he said he's done. He ain't paying for the nanny no more. And she was fighting because she said she still needed the nanny. And the judge hit the gavel and said, no. Even the judge was like, and his lawyer was like, you need to get a job. If you can't make your life happen on $55,000 a month, what's good? And he wanted the judge to force her to give her accounting of what is she doing with this $55,000 every month. And he said, if she really need a nanny, then take it out of the $55,000 that I'm already giving you. We're going to talk about it, the child support drama, because the people get in a bunch. They get crazy over this child support thing. Now, listen, y'all, I know that a lot of y'all have a certain feeling. We're going to move into the next story. A certain feeling about the Kardashians. But I want you to lean back a little bit when I tell this story. Because this is not really, the Kardashians is going to help us, bring up the conversation. But this is not isolated to the Kardashians. It's not. You got Kanye West that Kim is saying he has not seen his kids in 118 days. I don't know. She got a calendar. She clicking it off. But he busy running around with the new wife. A lot of men do this a lot of time. They get with somebody new and then they forget that you left a whole family behind. You cannot ignore the kids you had before you get with your new wife. She said he hasn't seen the kids in 118 days. And now we got these fires out there going on. The LA fires. They had to evacuate their home. He don't know if Kim and the kids are in the hotel, down the street, around the corner, down the block. He should be checking in because these fires are serious. You got to check in on the mental health of your kids. But in 118 days, he has not seen the kids. Even Jennifer Lopez called Ben Affleck and was like, "You good? If you need me, I'm here." And they just freshly got divorced. And she called his ex-wife the real villain. She broke down and humbled herself and called Ben Affleck and was like, "Are you good? Kanye need to go see about these kids." 118 days is a long time. It's not right. It's ridiculous. It's a mess. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Then we got to talk about this story I saw today. I personally don't shop at this store. Online, I never bought a thing. Not a shoe, not a sock, not a coat, not a jacket, not a pair of pants. But because I'm not an online shopper chick for stores I really don't know. But there's Shein out there in China. They're saying they're running a sweatshop. The workers barely get paid. If you return something, it comes out of the workers' check. The check they barely get. They work 365 days a year, 12 to 15 to 17-hour days. If they make 500 garments out the day and one of them was wrong or all 500, they get 0. How is this being allowed? Greed is everywhere, people, and it's extremely sad. Greed is everywhere. It's not just the ditties. It's not just the music industry. It is everywhere. The people will have you working for nothing if they could. It's very sad. But how do you fix them? You don't buy anything from it until they pay the people right and they don't have kids there working. Child labor laws they broke too. It's dreadful. It's disgusting. I won't buy anything from there. Because what's happening to the people, today is them, tomorrow is us. I promise you that. And they saying on the labels, the people are crying out for help. And the labels they're writing, "We're in pain, SOS, help." They're asking us, the ones that are buying these clothes, to help. Because if we stop buying the clothes, maybe they will stop doing these people dirty and treating them bad the way that they're treating them. You know, they said the clothes are cheap. Well, they said it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true because they're making the clothes for pennies on the dollar. So if they charge you $9, it's probably all profit to them. One man said he had to make 500 t-shirts in a day. You got to think about their hands. Yeah, it's a sewing machine, but you still got to push it through. You're using your foot on the pedal of the machine. Can you imagine? Then they got sleeping quarters for them that they say you can't even really live in. No hot water. You got to take a cold shower. There's mold all over the walls. All that profit they making, if you're going to give them a place to sleep, it should be pristine. It should be gorgeous. It should be like a 5-star hotel. It's a shame that people are getting treated this way. We're going to talk about it. It's unbelievable. But listen, people, we got to bring the people on in the building. It's Monday Night Trending Topics, and the title is called Family Matters. We got child support drama. Men, you know what? Just as much as women got to watch who they sleep with, y'all got to watch who y'all sleep with when y'all got a lot of money. Because the people just coming out your pockets, and can we feel bad for you? What did I do wrong? I should have went and got me an NBA player, $55,000 a month just because I had a baby that you want anyway. Can you imagine? You getting $55,000 a month to be a mom for the whole 18 years. Talking about the life. That's a life right there. Mm-hmm. Sit home, go to school, blog, be an influencer online, and raking in $55,000 a month in child support. And then at some point, all you got to do is kiss the kids, say, have a good day in school, and you see them 8 hours later. I'm bringing the people on the building, everybody. Hold on now. Y'all know what I need in the chat. Tay, I appreciate you. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Monday Night Trending Topics, and the title is called Family Matters. An NBA basketball player paying out the wazoo. We got Kanye's absence, 118 days, and did not see the kids. And we got this Shein labor scandal. Let me bring the people in. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Diva. Hey, chat.
Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Choo choo.
Choo-choo. Listen, guys, we're going to go ahead and start with this Shein story because it's very sad. When I read it, I couldn't believe it earlier. I don't understand how people could sleep at night knowing that they're treating people wrong. It just baffles me how people do these things. But let's get into this. Let me go ahead and share a screen. They call it the Shein Village because there's so many factories out there that are making their clothes, and they made $1 billion, almost $2 billion last year. And now they want to, publicly sell the company to make even more, like to be on the stock exchange. So Lost is Shein, Secrets of the Shein Village, where kids were caught working in sweatshops, and why you should think twice about returns. Because I mentioned earlier that when you return something, they take it out of the worker's pocket. Concerningly, children illegally working for Shein factories had to be put back together with their families because they had them in sweatshops and they wasn't even going to school or anything like that. I'm going to run this video. It's only like 58 seconds, and it's going to show you how you go to the village for the day. They got all these signs up. So if you know how to make the clothing that is there, the pants, the jacket, or whatever, because they show you an example of it, and then you can go to that factory, work that day, and get paid that day. So let's just look at this piece really quickly.
This is where the workers will come in the morning to see what jobs are available. Each of these signs shows which factory is making what. They've even got examples of the kind of clothing that they're making. So if you're a machinist, you can see the kind of stitching and the kind of style that you'll be making that day. You get your job, off you go, you get paid.
Yeah, but you're not getting paid a whole lot of money. They're paying these people nothing. It's very sad. Which with ultra cheap prices, special offerings served on a colorful spinning wheel, and regular free gifts, is no wonder Shein has become one of the world's most popular brands. The Chinese fast fashion firm reported a staggering 1.5 billion in sales last year, up 40%, and is now awaiting sign-off to list it on the London Stock Exchange for an estimated $50 billion. That is a picture of the sweatshop there. You see they got fans up. They darn near sitting on each other's lap because the machines are so close. These are the workers carrying the heavy fabrics, okay? And it's claimed employees work 75-hour work weeks with no days off. This is one of the stars promoting it, but because they're promoting the clothing line, does not mean that they understand how these clothes are being made and under what conditions. But beneath the brands and the tempting deals are deeply worrying concerns, from children being forced to work to allegations of modern slavery and labor right abuses, which is so incredibly sad. Despite constant denials from Shein that they have again been accused of an extreme form of exploitation by one charity after yet more worrying claims about conditions emerged. During the BBC's visit to Panyu, known as Shein Village, due to the excess of factories there, workers claim to take 0 days off. Listen, there's some weeks where I can't wait till Friday comes. I'm like, listen, I'm exhausted. I'm beat. When is Friday going to get here? They get 0 days off, slave away for 75 plus 75 hours plus a week, and receive just $265 a month for the displeasure. It's clear that it's illegal and it violates basic human rights. It's an extreme form of exploitation, and this needs to be visible, said David of the Asia Floor Wage Alliance. Invisible is not an understatement. This needs to be spread everywhere. People need to stop buying these clothes until they get this right and do right by these workers. This is just the latest damning claim about Shein, whose popularity has exploded since COVID, in part thanks to an A-list celebrity endorsements and support from the likes of Kim and Khloe Kardashian, Katy Perry, Rita Ora, Nick Jonas, and Love Islander Arabella Chi. Last week, Shein was accused of having bordered on contempt for refusing to answer questions about their practices by MPs. Hold on one second, guys. By MPs who called them ridiculous after being hauled before a UK government committee. There, the anti-slavery commissioner, Eleanor, said she didn't think she was being transparent about what is going on in their supply chains, nor was she convinced they were truly looking into the potential human rights violations. And they have many. For years, Shein has faced claims it's too cheap to be true, but in spite of that, it remains hugely popular and even the second most downloaded app in the UK last year. More than 2,000 items were added each day to the website, but behind that, there's a huge price for workers, a high price for workers, including claims they work, get paid as little as 2 pence per item. This emerged in the 2022 Channel 4 documentary Untold Inside the Shein Machine, which found some workers were slugging away for 17 hours a day and will find 3/4 of their already measly wages for mistakes. Now, the video I'm about to show you is because they're trying to sell it for $50 billion on the London Stock Exchange. They had to answer some questions about their practices, and they was avoiding the questions, and it was very sad. So that means if you're avoiding questions, then you know that there's problems and you're not willing to fix them. So let's take a quick listen.
Could you just tell us, do you source cotton from China?
So Shein is a company originated and developed in China, leveraging the Chinese supply chain. We have since grown into a global business with presence in over 150 countries.
But do you source cotton from China today?
So our suppliers, we do not obviously own any manufacturing facilities. Mm-hmm. We work with a wide network of suppliers. Our contract manufacturers, we have manufacturers in China, in Brazil, in Turkey. And we're obviously looking at the other potential supply chain.
In the products that you ship, there is cotton from China?
Like I mentioned, the suppliers we work with, they are based in China, in Turkey, and Brazil. Yeah. And obviously, many of them are in China.
Okay, this isn't a trick question. It's not a complicated question. In the products that you ship, will there be cotton from China?
So the suppliers we work with, most of them, they're based in regions.
It's actually a yes or no question, actually. Do you think that there is cotton from China in the products that you ship? Yes or no?
My understanding, and also, Chair, with all due respect, While it's understand that today's discussion is about international supply chain and upholding labor rights and standards, I can only answer questions as far as my position and responsibility relates to. So I'll do the best I can to answer your questions. To the extent there are details that I'm not able to provide, if you would allow me, we can provide written response after the hearing.
Right, okay. But the first question is there cotton from China in the goods that you sell?
Chair, thank you again for your patience. With all due respect, may I please ask for permission to be able to write to you about the further questions you may have?
You can't tell the committee today whether there is cotton from China in the products that Shein sells.
What I'm able to share with the committee, obviously we comply with laws and regulations everywhere we do business in the world. And we have supplier code of conduct, we have robust systems and procedures in place and policies in place. And we also have very strong enforcement measures in place to ensure we adhere to these high standards that are expected in our supply chain. And we take these.
You can't tell the committee today whether there is cotton from China in the products that you sell.
As mentioned, Chair, with all due respect, for detailed operational information and other aspects I'm not able to assist, I will have to write back to the committee afterwards.
Child, you talking about avoiding the question.
Meanwhile,
unbelievable. So that's their packaging there. They're very well known for that packaging. These are the people in their garment village district with this loading the garments and bringing them to there. Again, we told you, that's where you go and see, can you sew that item and do you want to work for the day? Exploited. An undercover reporter was told she would get 1 day off a month and that there was no such thing as Sundays here while working at the factory, which produced irons for Shein. Known as Me, not her real name, she revealed employees were expected to sew a minimum of 500 garments per shift and was told by a colleague that they work at least 17 to 18 hours a day. The law says that the Chinese law and Shein code of practice that suggests staff should work 40 hours a week. And it is just one example of the company's alleged disregard for labor rights. Me was told for her first month's wages, roughly workers are paid $16.50 plus 2 pence per item of clothing per day would be withheld for the first month. So the first 30 days you work, you're not getting zero. You're getting zero. If they found any mistakes, they would deduct 12 pence, the equivalent of 3/4 of her daily wages. And if she didn't meet the 500 item minimum, she would get the minuscule per item bonus. Worse so, in another factory, one worker claimed that if its items return, I don't get paid, and said they didn't have a single day off in the previous month. Slave labor, sweatshops, and trade tricks are the dirty secret behind Shein's success. Mead said the factory has a very inhumane system. If you make a mistake, for example, cut the wrong thing or make the wrong packaging, the factory will give you a penalty. They still exploit the workers like dogs. It's worse than years ago. She described the practices as unreasonable, citing there was no rest at all and that she felt really tired, really exhausted from the hours. Chilling, workers have so little free time that the factories who supply clothing to Shein sometimes offer on-site accommodation for workers to rest between their excessively long shifts. But Me says the majority of them are uninhabitable, explaining there was no hot water. I had to have cold showers. I've never been so miserable. The walls are covered in mold. The toilet wasn't working. Now, these are the labels where they're putting secret cries out for help. It says 80% cotton, 20% polyester, see reverse for care, made in China. I have dental pain. They're crying for help on the tags. This other tag said, help me. Okay. Concerningly, that same year, several TikTok videos emerged that alleged struggling Shein workers were making pleas for help on clothing labels. Stitches on the tags were messages including "Help me," "SOS," and "I have dental pain," as well as the words "Need your help" hidden among washing instructions. Fact-checking site Snoops has suggested that latter could be an oddly worded translation for Chinese instructions, but it is not fully clear. They got child labor issues. In August last year, Shein revealed they had found 2 cases of child labor in their supply chain and temporarily suspended orders from the factories until they rooted out the problem. However, they decided to resume business with them after, despite the company admitting the child workers had to be reunited to their parents or legal guardians. Shein's statement read, "Both cases were resolved swiftly, with remediation steps, including terminated contracts with underage employees, ensuring the payment of any outstanding wages, arranging medical checkups, and facilitating, remediation to parents or legal guardians as needed." The shocking admission in Shein's 2023 sustainability report so infuriated U.S. Politician Marco Rubio that he wrote to the UK Chancellor Jeremy Hunt, warning him of the grave ethical concerns and the firm's deep ties to the People's Republic of China. You've given us almost zero confidence in the integrity of your supply chains. You can't even tell us what your products are made from. Rubio, Republican, Trump ally, and member of the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee, added slave labor, sweatshops, and trade tricks are the dirty secrets behind Shein's success. In the years that followed the initial investigation in Shein's factory, it seems little has changed, with workers telling the BBC, who visited 10 factories in Panyu, that many of them work 75-hour work weeks. "We usually work 10, 11, or 12 hours a day," said one lady, 49, who refused to be named. "The basic wage without overtime was $265 per month, or 2,400 yen, which is 2.7 times lower than what the Asian Floor Wage Alliance says is needed living wage." Indirectly, that some argue has led to excessive hours being incentivized, with one worker telling the documentary, "If there are 31 days in a month, I will work 31 days. They said they were paid by the piece, and how much each is worth depends on how difficult the item is." Something simple like a t-shirt is 1 to 2 yen per piece. And I can make around a dozen an hour, they said. "We earn so little. How is that enough? The cost of living is now so high." She refused to be interviewed by the BBC, but in a statement said they were committed to ensuring the fair and dignified treatment of all workers within our supply chain. They claim to be investing tens of millions of dollars in strengthening governance and compliance, and said they strive for the highest standards of pay and ensure compliance with auditors. Horrified MPs, now Shein is awaiting approval to be listed on the London Stock Exchange, but there could be troubles ahead for the firm after a contentious clash with the MPs at a trade committee last week. The firm's top lawyer refused to give straight answers to the questions and instead offered to submit in writing regarding the supply chain. Labour MP Liam Byrne, who chaired the committee, told the firm's representative that they were all pretty horrified by the lack of evidence that you have provided. He adds, "You've given us zero confidence in the integrity of your supply chains. You can't even tell us where your products are made from. You can't tell us much about the conditions which workers have to work in, and the reluctance to answer basic questions has frankly bordered on contempt of the committee." Shein was accused of willful ignorance, in addition to the risk of the UK potentially becoming a dumping ground for products unable to enter the UK nor the US due to the poor labor standards. Byrne expressed concern over the representative being able to answer whether their suppliers use Chinese cotton, where it's alleged there are forced labor camps, labor abuses, and human rights abuses. That's why she wasn't answering. For years, it has been claimed that Muslims are being made to work against their will in the area, which creates roughly 20% of the world's cotton supplies, as well as allegedly facing ethnic cleansing. It followed a Bloomberg report that at least 2% of the cotton used in Shein's items come from unapproved sources. In response to Zhu's request to submit a written reply to the claim, Burns said, "This isn't a trick question. It's not even a complicated question." Lyons, the UK anti-slavery commissioner, wasn't convinced either, stating, "I don't think they are being transparent about what is going on in their chain supply." You think? I want to hear more from them and understand that they are truly looking into the potential human rights violations within them. I don't think they are actually currently doing that. Zhu stated the fashion giant was compliant with relevant UK laws, but has since refused to comment when approached by multiple news outlets. That's because they full of crap and they doing the people dirty, and it's a hot, flaming mess. Yeah, it's like blood diamonds. You ain't lying. Savannah, your thoughts?
It's like the more you read that story, the situation gets worse and worse and worse for children. But I think the American consumer also has some. Their hands are not clean here. We like to pay low prices for. I haven't never ordered from Shein because I heard it takes a long time to get it, and I heard it's not good quality, so I've never really ordered from them. But I have heard and seen celebrities wear them and advertise them a lot. But as surprising as this story is, I did see a 2020 report, and I think that was in like 2021 or 22, where they went into these sweatshops and actually Iran or India, the Middle East has their child labor is one of the worst in the entire globe. Second run by Asia and their shops there. But a lot of American companies also outsource their manufacturing goods to countries where they can produce for cheap labor and then bypass these child labor laws that is here in the United States. And I know that back in the early 1900s, children were used to work in factories because it was easier for them to operate the machinery because of their small hands. I just think the American consumer, our greed is we're not willing to give up our coffee, because I think the story that I saw in 2020 was about coffee at that time and how children were used to pick the bean and put it in the machinery and we that was at the height of Starbucks, and we're not willing to give up our coffees, our fast food, our cheap fashions, makeup. So the American consumer, there's a lot of burden on them as well, and it's just the greed that we as consumers have. So as unfortunate as this is, I don't think, and internationally, the government, especially this government coming in with all those billionaires in the cabinet, they're all about making a fast dollar and paying little to nothing on their goods. So it's unfortunate. I see this is going to continue more and more.
Who is sad? Katrina, your thoughts?
Hello, y'all. All these companies are full of crap. You remember Wayfair was naming their products after the children that was ST. Um, you got Amazon that won't pay their workers, but you want to pay Melania Trump $40 million for a documentary. Like, for what? She don't do nothing. We don't even know her. Gonna say you were married to Trump and you had to change his diaper or something. I mean, I don't get it. A documentary on what? You don't do nothing. And then you have, like you said, Sheen. And then you got these people over there sending little messages on the tags and stuff like that. But I don't even really think people really look at those tags. So I'm surprised somebody saw it. And what gets me is, are they required to work, or they're going in there to work? Because didn't they say they were looking for people who can do those type of clothes? If you can do this type of clothes, you
Need
know,
the
you got the
money.
job for the
They
day.
need they need the money. So it's a mixture of everything. It's a mixture of some people that just work at the factories full time. It's a mixture of them getting day workers to come in and just fill in day work. They using everybody because they made $1.5 billion last year. They said
And
that was
that's sad.
40%, and they add 2,000 new items on the site per day. They're working everybody like slaves.
And then they send back reaping the rewards of these people hard work. That sound familiar to me. The thing of it is, these people, they I feel sorry for them. You know, it's sad that the little person always doing the hardest work, but the big person is always getting the biggest pay. It ridiculous. I mean, everybody should stop ordering from them. A lot. You need to make sure this is in the algorithm so people would know, so people will understand. Because I never ordered from Shein. I have ordered from Fashion Nova. I got to give that one out. I have ordered from them, but I don't even order from them like that no more. And I darn sure don't order from Temu. The China got too much stuff going on, and you selling this stuff cheap. That's why I was like, why is this stuff so cheap? It got to be something, a default or something somewhere in this stuff. But hopefully these people will get some help. Hopefully they will shut down the sweatshop, make them pay them exactly what they're worth, the billions that they made, make them give that to the employees. The same thing with Amazon. We won't have no packages getting stole side the road if you was paying these people what they was meant to be paid. You got these people that are doing all this hard work, and you sitting back, reaping the rewards from their backs. Same as Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and if I'm not mistaken, Trump even said that he was going to lift the child working laws in the United States. So we just got a lot of stuff to deal with. Protect your children. Watch who you buy things from. I mean, you just got to be aware. You want cheap stuff because you're not making the money that you was normally making. But a lot of people didn't know about what Sheen was doing, and it's a sad situation. I hope they find some help from over there. That's all I got. Dee.
Thank you. Leo, you're up.
Oh, okay. I thought I was behind. All right. So, okay. So it is a culture of capitalism that we live in our society. People want cheap goods. And I feel like in the Chinese society, if these people had an opportunity to go someplace else and work and make better wages, they would. But
Yeah.
they live on a communist society where you work benefits the government and not the people. And so there's pretty much no other place where these folks can go and work. What they need is what they see as a need is more opportunity to work and not better wages to work. And that's the reason why they're working 17 hours a day, 7 days a week, because it's not about going to another place and get a better wage. Everybody's paying dirt wages. All of our clothes are, and it's feeded from capitalist society that want cheap goods. And so therefore there's no other place to go and work because they all paying dirt wages. It's all about how long you can work. Can you work 17 hours a day? Can you work 7 days a week? And it is really, like Savannah said, it's really based on the consumer and whether or not the consumer finds it to be satisfactory that this is what the Chinese government or the Chinese society is doing to provide us these goods and whether or not you want to support it. And I do applaud London to not let them get on the London Stock Exchange if they can't answer simple questions on whether or not their product is produced in China or not. She did a whole bunch of talking, but she ain't really answered the question. And so I applaud them for them saying, look, we know what you do. And before you get on our set, before we let you in on our stock exchange, you need to put your money where your mouth is. if you saying all these things that what, because she said a whole bunch of corporate lines, but she did not answer the direct question that would hold them accountable for their foul work environment. And we all need to understand, I think, as a community and as people who work for the man, none of us are getting paid our worth. So if us in our own personal experience know that we're not getting paid our worth, I've ordered from Shein too, maybe in 2020, and I had got some good clothes from them. Like, they were high quality clothes in 2020. I have not ordered from them since then, but I feel like if we want to get paid our worth, we need to think about others when we get our products from China. Are they getting paid their worth, even though we're getting cheap things? The older I get, the more I want higher quality things. When I was younger, things being cheap and only last a month or two, and you wash them 2 or 3 times and it's over with, I'm done spending my money on stuff that only lasts 2 or 3 months. I want higher quality things, and I want to pay, and I'm willing to pay more money for higher quality things. Because to me, if you pay more money for it, it lasts longer. Fast fashion is not really worth it if you can only wear it 2 or 3 times and it's shrunk up, it's threading, it's falling apart. You get more money, you get more value from your money if you pay for higher quality things and higher quality fashions. So I mean, it is, I totally agree with Savannah. It's upon the consumer to change what they feel is important, as far as what they feel fashion and clothing is, especially when you see people suffering, and that you want to get paid your value too. The reason why they don't pay, if it's because they can still get the work and still get the product, and they don't have to pay you. Until they feel like they have to pay you to get the quality of work, that's when they pay you.
Woo, thank you, Leo. Tay, your thoughts?
This is so sad that the people can't even take no break. What kind of mess that is anyway? Are you trying to like drown my energy so you work me all day for this right here? So I don't want to get paid? How am I gonna pay without get food, clothes, everything that I need? And you just work me so hard right there. Let's talk about that lady that avoid that question. When somebody asks you a question, you just avoid the question, and then you want to talk something else, like in different circles right there.
Yeah.
They know you up to something like that. This is a sad world that we live in right now. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So what I hate is that it's always left up to us to find out this stuff that's out there and to know that this stuff is going on. It sucks that we have laws and people in power and nobody does their due diligence to check when they putting this stuff out here for us to buy, to know that we are not supporting people that are mistreating people. Like, you can't hold people accountable for buying what their jacket pocket can afford. If somebody's means is below them and all they can afford is a $5 Shein or $6 Shein, then I feel like this is our government that's messed up, because they're not looking out to see if what they're trying to put out to us to buy, because that's what they want us to do. They want us to spend the money to keep the economy going. But you're not checking to make sure the stuff that's out there is being done the right way. So I blame them, because these are the people that we put in place to make sure we spending our tax dollars, that it's being spent and it's being sent to the right people for the right reasons, so the economy can keep going and we can keep prospering. But if we supporting stuff that's bull, then we don't know that until it's out there.
Mhm.
But there are people out here that have multiple kids and they find these sites, and because it's cheaper, yeah, they can buy their kids more clothes, or they can buy stuff that's a little cheaper. And yeah, it may not last as long as other stuff, but they feel like this is a deal to them because their jacket pockets is low. It's either my kids get this or they get one shirt. You know what I'm saying? It sucks because this is the economy we live in. It's just like the prices in the store with food. It's going up with no help. Eggs are at $8. It makes no sense. But nobody's putting in the effort to find out what's going on and why we going through the things that we're going through. And as long as we got people out there that are not using their voice to vote, not making sure that the right people are in the offices, then this is what's going to happen. It's going to keep on happening. You're not going to get the fair pay that you need. You're not going to get the stuff that you need, and people are going to still be mistreated.
Oh, well, there you have that. Oh, thank you. In my opinion, Wayne, you're up.
Yeah, this is a global problem that's gone like way beyond what I think we can fix. And this is China's problem. But unfortunately, Americans have been spoiled along with other countries, whatever. We get this stuff cheap, we want it. Okay, now, like, what can we do, right? Like if you say, oh, we'll boycott because we won't buy this stuff, whatever. Okay, we boycott them. Then them people over there, now they ain't got no job. They're not getting the little bit they was making. But China's has hundreds and hundreds of factories. So I never heard of this company, Shein, whatever, but I imagine they probably maybe like other companies that sell a lot of inexpensive things, like the dollar stores and stuff like that, you know. But what are we going to do? We're aware of it, but what are we going to do? Okay. If they stop, this thing where, okay, we're going to boycott you. Now, they're going to boycott us. Who has more to lose? Does China get more from us than we get from them? All these niceties? I don't think, I don't know of any factories here, and other than maybe car factories or whatever, that's shipping a whole lot of goods to China, like they're sending us. Because we're used to going to the dollar store, you know, you buy 4 metal forks for $1.25. Okay, so for the person that can't afford a whole cutlery set, that's 4 forks to feed their children. Okay, so what, we boycott them or whatever. Oh, y'all do something, whatever, you know. And I'm not saying we're gonna solve the problem, but now these forks are $3. I hear it all the time. This stuff, you know, what is $1? Now it's $1.25. Oh my God, it's $1.25. Blah 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 blah. You know, complain about $1.25. So if this stuff goes up in price, $3 and $4, are you gonna buy? You gonna still complain? Now, I'm not for this slavery. I think it's crazy that they're doing that, and they can do that. But that's China. It's not the United States. Okay, find where they're working here in the United States, slave labor. Find out where the kids are getting trafficked in here. Do that here. Because the only way, if we're going to so-called help them people, what's left? To boycott them. Don't buy their products. But is that going to work? We're too dependent on them. We too dependent on them. We got this cheap stuff. We sold out, and we willing to take all this stuff, and we're used to it now. So how many of us are going to, well, I'm not going to buy this from Shein. I'm not going to buy from Temu or wherever these places. All these places, I'm sure on Amazon, because a lot of those companies, they sell it pennies on the dollar, and that stuff is coming from over China. So it's sad that it's happening. Unfortunately, I don't know what we can do about it. You know, those little names and stuff, they need to put them in Chinese so somebody in China can read that message and know what's happening if they're hiding it over there. Sure, we're aware of it, but what can we do? We'd love to be able to do something and solve the problem, but we can't. That's it.
All right. Woo. I will roll right into the next story. So, child support drama. I don't understand why this is such another very contentious subject. You know, these men, they get themselves into said situations, and you know, then they like, this story is told over and over and over again, right? It's just it's very sad. I don't know what to really, you know, like, how do we really address this? What do we really say about this? But it's hold on, let me see. Did I miss this? Hold on one second, guys. My screen is Bedspread Chronicles. AK, thank you so much for the super chat. I truly appreciate you. Thank you for your super chat. So let me hold on one second, because it went all the way up before I saw it. Let me share screen and go into this next story. This Jimmy Butler. Okay. He's an NBA player. So Jimmy Butler's ex-girlfriend working out deal with NBA star after he demands accounting on child support. So NBA star Jimmy Butler and his ex-girlfriend Caitlin Nowak are attempting to hash out a settlement after he called her out for allegedly refusing to seek employment amid their paternity battle. In Touch Weekly can exclusively report. According to court documents obtained by In Touch, let me just pause this. On Friday, January 10th, Jimmy's lawyer informed the court that NBA star informed the court that NBA star was dropping his recent motion for temporary release. Jimmy, 35, explained that he was withdrawing the motion that he filed on December 2nd, 2024, without prejudice in light of ongoing settlement discussions with Caitlin. The without prejudice part means Jimmy can refile his motion if the settlement talks falls apart or any issues arise in the future. According to the court records obtained by In Touch, Caitlin filed a paternity lawsuit against Jimmy on October 12, 2023. The public learned about the case when the Daily Mail published an outlet about Jimmy's recent motion filed in December 2024. In this motion obtained by In Touch, Jimmy explained he had reached a final judgment establishing paternity in February of 2024. The NBA star said he was established as the legal and biological father of the 3 children, a daughter, R&B, born in 2019, and a son named BMB, born in 2022, and his second son named KB, born in 2023. Jimmy said per the deal, he agreed to temporary pay for a nanny for Caitlin. He said the agreement stated he would pay his ex $10,000 per month for a nanny starting January 2024. His lawyer said at the time of the stipulation, time sharing had not been fully established and the youngest child was only 5 weeks old. Since the entry of the stipulation and subsequent agreed partial final judgment establishing paternity, the circumstances have vastly changed concerning mother's need for a nanny. Jimmy said their youngest child was now over 1 year old. He said he is time sharing with the children has been established, and he exercises 50% of time sharing with the 2 older children. His lawyer said father has had time sharing with the older children for significant stretches of time, including during summer 2024. His lawyer pointed out the oldest children will be attending school in the 2025-2026 academic year, and the middle child will be enrolled in preschool or childcare, carteling, if not eliminating, mother's so-called need for a nanny. Jimmy said he pays his ex a huge child support payment each month. I'm sorry, guys, it kicked out there. Let me go back into it. I'll share again. Let me come down. Okay. Jimmy said he pays a huge child support payment each month, which is more than significant to cover the expenses of a nanny if the mother wants. His lawyer said Jimmy pays his ex $55,000 a month in child support. His lawyer then slammed Caitlin. He wrote, "Mother is unemployed and refuses to seek employment. With one child in preschool and father exercising equal time sharing with the other children, there is no legitimate reason for mother to insist both on a nanny and that the father pay for that nanny." Jimmy said he tried to work out the issue at a mediation, but his ex refused to waive her demand that he continues paying for the nanny on top of the tremendous amount of child support he pays. His lawyer said neither mother nor any of the children have health issues that would make the expenses of a nanny reasonably medically necessary. No nanny for mother is reasonably necessary when a father is exercising his 50% timeshare. Therefore, even if the court determined that a nanny was a legitimate expense for which father should pay, there is no basis to require the father to pay for a nanny to be with the mother when the father is exercising timeshare. And Jimmy motions red. Mother is fully capable of paying the cost for the nanny herself without any reduction in the lifestyle these young children enjoy, Jimmy's lawyer told the court. It must be pointed out that the father and mother would never marry. Mother is not entitled to live as if she is married to a National Basketball Association player. Jimmy said that if his ex is claiming she cannot afford a nanny despite the child support she receives, he is entitled to an accounting of her use of the funds and potentially a court-appointed official being appointed to oversee the expenditures. At the time, Jimmy's lawyer said the parties have been unable to reach a further agreement with regards to the nanny, which has necessitated the need for this motion. A couple weeks later, Jimmy informed the court they were close to a settlement. The paternity action is ongoing. So I think she's sticking her foot in her mouth and being greedy. You're getting $55K a month, and he's taking the kids, the two older kids, half the time. Girl, chill. And if you want this nanny, use the $10K out of your $55,000 allowance. Savannah, your thoughts?
So she doesn't work. She doesn't go to school. And this is her only child. So what does this mother do all day? I'm confused. Why is there a need for a nanny if you're not doing anything with your day? It's unfortunate that this story plays out every basketball season. We hear the same stories, new player. No, it's like they don't learn. These up and coming NBA stars don't learn from the previous one who just went down the same slippery slope. And this breed of young women that are coming up now, they're using their uterus as a as a means of cashing in and having a simpler lifestyle and attaching themselves to a NBA player, a football player, somewhere that they can get these large amounts of child support every month without actually having to do the work as a mother. The ones who suffer here are the children. We're going to have a generation of broken children. And, though we can fault the father for not covering up and taking the right protections, but I'm starting to look at the women and seeing what quality of woman is out there, just like the one football player that has 10 babies by 10 different women. It just, and the women are doing it freely. Nick Cannon, they're attaching to them freely, taking photo shoots, thinking it's cute, and it's actually degrading and sad. So I don't. Until we get a judge that makes an example out of one of them, this is going to continue.
That is true. Katrina, your thoughts?
That's what they get for being stupid. I mean, they've seen it over, like you said, they've seen it over and over again, and yet still they still go out and do the same identical thing. So if you want to pay these high child support payments, keep doing what you're doing. Other than that, wrap it up, because you already know if you're not planning on being with this woman, you already know what she's there for, as they call them, groupies or whatsoever. But that's what you play to get, and that's what you get. So you paying this 55,000 a month, golly, 55,000 a month, girl. Some people don't even make that a year.
Come on.
And you complaining about 10,000 for a nanny when you don't even work. So what you want to do? Just sit at home and shop all day and have a child with their nanny, or she's sitting by the pool, or she doing whatever she's doing, and you still want more. And see, that's the thing we say about greed. I'm
Mm,
out for child support when when the child is supposed to get it, when it's going to the child. But 55,000 a month, that's way more than enough for you to take care of my child and yourself.
mm-hmm.
And basically, I'm not supposed to be taking care of you. I'm supposed to be taking care of my child. You just an incentive. It's ridiculous, but I guess you in late with her and played with her. This the prize that you got popped out. I mean, what else can you say? You ain't been through it. Everybody tell you. You still go back around and do the same thing over and over again. So it's just a replay. And this is how you want to run up and down the court. Your knees bad, your foot's bad. By the time you get through doing all that work, and this woman getting your money for free. But they asked for it. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. Wayne, you're up.
Yeah. Of course, this is ridiculous. I hope this is not dragged through the courts, because any logical judge or whoever, whatever, could look and see that this is overkill. This is overkill. Extra 10,000. Even if he had agreed to initially, and now they're sharing, it's not. That's a bit much. And I don't think this needs all this, like they were saying. I don't know if it's mediation or whatever, but any logical lawyer or whatever, a judge, however they're trying to get this decided, should be able to see this. I had a friend that had 2 sons, and he was paying child support. Okay, later on in the years, the mother wanted more money. So when she went to court to get more child support, the doctor ordered a DNA test. The second child wasn't his.
Oh my gosh.
She was greedy. He was paying for both of them, but she was greedy. So in this case right here, this woman is greedy. I hope they can see what it's worth and let this man, not be held accountable for $10,000. I mean, the nanny trying to get paid too. She's trying to give a nanny a salary, $10,000 a month. She's trying to become an employer. That's it.
Tay Tay.
I wanted the nanny her sister. No, I'm just playing.
All I said, Dr. Butler, gold digger. That's all, Diva.
Oh my God. Okay. Thank you, Tay Tay. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So this one is the real. This is the real thing that's going on here. It's not just the ones that's going after the basketball players. Let me just say it like that.
Okay.
We got somewhere down the line, women have lost the value of themselves.
Oh.
I've seen for the last few days, I've seen people on Instagram posting videos about how many kids they got with how many people and what they getting from the government or what they getting from their kids' daddies. This is ridiculous. Like when we got people on the internet saying, I got 7 kids with 7 baby daddies and I'm getting 3,000 in food stamps and I might have 12 before the end of 2025. I'm shocked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been in a society, I guess because I was raised, in a different time. People weren't having babies like this. This girl said she was 22 and had 7 kids by 7 different daddies. She started when she was 13.
Wow.
I don't get it. I don't get where we lost the value of ourselves and we just let people just feel like we a dumping ground. You letting people just dump all in you and stuff. This is ridiculous. I need people to teach these women, even if they not your own kids. You see a girl, there's still some values in them. That you are not a dumping ground. You ain't a dumpster. Nobody should be coming and using you for your body. You should have more respect because evidently they ain't getting it at home. So if y'all see somebody out there that look like they, they lost soul, try to teach them because they a lost soul. And we got to teach them some way because we going the wrong way real fast. I hate it that nobody has no respect for themselves or their body. And I hate it that nobody's speaking up enough to say, hey, look, what are we going to do to get these girls to know the value of themselves?
Thank you. Thank you,
I hear
everybody.
what you're saying, an opinion, but you got these, okay, middle school, you got these kids wearing weave down to their butts. You got them with fake eyelashes on. You got them walking around half naked, the tank tops are showing their belly buttons. Once we get that type of parents and put that, I mean, instill very valuable things into your children, it ain't gonna change because these kids want to be grown way before their time. They look older than we do, and they be 18 and 19 years old,
But
and
that's
it's a
because you
sad
got kids
situation.
raising. That's because you got kids raising kids. They don't
You
know how
got
to be a
some kids
mama.
raising kids, but then you got some older people out there that want to go to the clubs and don't care what the kids. They just want the ADC check and or whatever check they're getting, and the kids walking around with snotty nose and ashy ankles. You got they want to be in the club, and it's not kids raising kids. These are adult women that's doing this as well. But yes, you do have a majority of children raising children. I see that as well. But it just the standards that we grew up with is not the standards that we have now, and that's a sad situation.
All right, we're gonna roll into the last story, and the last story is wait a minute, wait, I'm just looking to see. The last story is Kanye West. You know, is this title is Family Matters, and he hasn't seen his kid in 118 days. And this is not about how you feel about Kim Kardashian. This is about him not seeing his kids. I know he got the new wife, but you still should be seeing about your kids. So Kanye West does not return from overseas trip while kids evacuate LA fires as he has not seen them in 118 days. Kanye West is still staying overseas as 2025 kicks off. The rapper and designer was last seen in Dubai a week ago after spending time in the Maldives, Japan, and China, and his wife Bianca Sensori for the past 4 months. This comes at a tough time for his family. His ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, and their 4 young children, North, Saint, Chicago, and Song, all have to evacuate their Hidden Hills, California mansion after the Kenneth fire threatened to burn it down. While leaving her residence, Kim spoke out on social media. The reality TV star Siren 44 thanks prisoners who helped fight the fires while donating money to feed firefighters. Kanye does not seem to have seen his children in at least 118 days. The last time he saw the kids was in September 2024 when they performed together at a Vultures 2 listening event in China. The DailyMail.com has reached out to West representative for a comment. Though Kanye may be staying in touch with his children by phone and FaceTime, there is no evidence of that. Meanwhile, West continues to roll out the birthday celebrations for his wife, Sensori, who turned 30 recently. They were last seen on January 6th on their romantic getaway to Dubai. After ringing in her milestone birthday with a wild disco party in which the couple were recorded passionately kissing on the dance floor, the architect was treated to another surprise. In a footage shared via X, the model was seen carrying a huge bouquet of flowers and what appeared to be a rooftop restaurant while out with her mom and dad, Alexander and Ella Leo Sensori, who live in Australia. Yi gifted Bianca some flowers in the presence of her parents. The fan captioned the 19-second video, which received more than 21,000 views on Tuesday. The couple's latest sighting together comes after a raunchy recording of them went viral from her birthday bash. In the clip, Sensori can be seen wrapping her legs around her man's waist as they get down on the dance floor. I'm not playing these videos. But it's playing now. In addition to her husband, the birthday girl was also seen dancing with actress Penelope Cruz. She and the 50-year-old Oscar winner were seen shimmying and grinding against each other in another video that Kanye shared to his Instagram account before quickly deleting it. Things heated up as they got close and rubbed their chests against each other while gyrating, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going through all that because the point is here, he has not seen the kids in 118 days. And they're going through something devastating right now. Savannah, your thoughts? I can't believe she's only 30 either, Handy B.
Well, that was one of my points too. I'm just, first of all, I'm gonna applaud her for wearing clothes recently, because this woman seems to be there most of the time. Kanye's been lost for how many years now, and here is his oldest daughter, who is she is absolutely adorable and has personality for days. But she can be a poster child for our last conversation that we just had with Katrina, and in my opinion, where this child is I believe she's maybe 11 or 12, but North operates on more of a teenager level. She's very grown for her age. I think, and these and all the children are at an age now where they recognize dad's missing. Dad hasn't been here for X amount of days, and regardless if he is communicating with them via FaceTime, or that's still different from being present, especially when they're going through such a scary time as the LA fires and they've had to evacuate their home. No matter what our opinions are of Kim K, I'm not a fan of hers. And I think I've only watched 2 episodes of the whole Kardashian dynasty trilogy, whatever they've had going on for all these years. I've seen 2 of their shows, but I do got to give Kim credit where credit is due. She's a mom that has always been by her children, and present, and involved with their upbringing. So he might not be mentally stable to be around those kids right now, but these kids know that their dad is absent, and he'll pay the price when they are grown. They will let him know. So I don't think this is going to be the last of it.
Sad. Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, when he was coming around the kids, they was making it a problem. And y'all saying that he's so psychotic or whatsoever. I mean, yeah, he should check on his children. But if he's that type of way, I wouldn't even want him around my children, even though he's the father. Because you saying that he's psycho, he's off his meds, he's doing this, he's doing that. And when he was seeing the kids, y'all was complaining, saying that he's taking them to these churches and doing this and doing that. So, and yes, he should see his children. Don't get me wrong, y'all. Don't get me wrong, Chad. But I'm just saying, they're complaining, saying when he was with the kids, it was a problem. Now he's not seeing the kids, it's a problem. And yes, he should stay in contact with his children. I get that. But y'all saying that he's psycho and all that type of stuff, I wouldn't want him around my children, even though he's the father. But you saying that he need to be medicated or he need a conservatorship or whatsoever. Why would you even want him around your kids if he's acting unstable? Yes, we know that's their father. Don't get me wrong, and yes, he should be in their lives. But if an unstable person, I don't want no unstable person around my children. I don't care if they is the father. You can take your unstable tail on by your business. But um, yeah, he need to. I guess he said he doing FaceTime and all this type of stuff. I don't know. It's a weird situation because, like I said, they was complaining when he was seeing his children. Now they complaining that he's not seeing his children. Then they were saying you crazy. I don't know. I just hope they get some resolution. Hope the children see him or whatever. I don't even know what to say. That's all I got, Dee.
Thank you. Wayne, your thoughts?
Diva, I don't have a comment. Sorry.
Thank you. Tay.
Wow, that has been a long time away for your children right there. So you go out party with the wife. If I was Kanye, I would go see my children, make sure they're okay. A parents always put their kids first.
Come on now.
Make sure they ain't harmed, they are safe, know they be loved right there. And like Savannah said, that he gonna regret when they grow up. They said, Dad, we don't need you. Where you been? Because we need you the most. You supposed to be our father, our hero, a protecting, a mentor, a teacher. But no, you just went out to a party. That's all, Diva.
Thank you. In my opinion.
So these LA fires have been atrocious, and it's been so many people have lost their lives. So if I ever heard, I don't care who it is, okay, it could be a Disney family member. If I heard that they was, in that, it would break my heart not to reach out. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of way. And then my kids, it's even worse that you don't go and drop everything, because it's traumatic for kids when they have to go through stuff like this. They don't know if they're going to come back and their stuff going to still be there. And kids are kids. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand. I don't care how grown these kids at the end of the day, they're kids. I feel like this is very, very immature of him to be going across the world partying while your kids are having to evacuate their house. And you don't give a damn. I don't care how crazy you is. Okay, your mama ain't never did it to you. He keep talking about how much he loved his mama and what his mama did for him. But what are you doing for yours? You patrol these kids on the internet telling us all about how you was so into their life that you was doing this for them and you was doing this for them. You putting them on records and stuff. You gonna make them this. I don't see what you're doing when it's in time of need. Now you sitting out here with this real hard looking 30-year-old, okay? She look a little hard 40, okay? But they say she 30, I'm gonna go with it, okay? You rolling around with her while she gyrating on everybody that she don't even know, okay? Trying to be famous. You spending money for her parents to come around the world with y'all, but you can't check on your own.
Woo!
Now make that make sense.
Thank you, in my opinion. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for being here. It was Family Matters tonight, and we had all what's some topics. Listen, y'all know the routine. I'll be here tomorrow night. If you didn't hit that button while you was here, hit it on the way out. Don't cheat the diva. Listen, everybody. Thanks for being here. Good night and goodbye.
Do not cheat the divorce right now. Choo choo and BB. Thank you.
Thank you, Tay Tay.